Our world is a theatre of endless invention, a living tapestry woven from countless threads of adaptation and survival. Every corner of the planet, from the sun-drenched savannas to the shadowy depths of the ocean, is alive with stories that defy imagination. Here the script is constantly being rewritten by the forces of evolution, each chapter more astonishing than the last. The forest, for example, is not just a collection of trees, but a stage where plants and animals perform an intricate dance. Leaves unfurl, insects morph, and the very air shimmers with the energy of transformation. When we venture beyond our familiar towns and cities, we discover that nature is filled with creatures so peculiar, so wonderfully strange, that they seem to have sprung from the pages of a fantasy novel. The eye, with its eerie, elongated finger, taps on wood in the moonlit jungles of Madagascar, searching for hidden grubs. Beneath the waves, the peacock mantis shrimp flashes colours more vivid than any artist's palette, while the sunfish drifts like a living relic from another era. These animals challenge our very idea of what is normal. The star-nosed mole, with its bizarre tentacled snout, navigates the darkness underground, sensing prey in a fraction of a second. The axolotl, forever youthful, glides through ancient lakes, its feathery gills waving like underwater banners. They are the outliers, the oddballs, and the eccentrics of the animal kingdom, each one a living testament to the wild creativity of evolution. Their existence is a testament to the fact that for every problem life presents, there is a weird and wonderful solution waiting to be found, shaped over millions of years of trial and error. In the harshest deserts, creatures have learned to harvest water from the air itself. In the frozen tundra, fur grows thick and dense, and bodies shrink to conserve precious warmth. Exploring this gallery of nature's freaks is like embarking on the greatest treasure hunt on Earth. Each step reveals a new marvel, a coral reef bustling with life forms that glow, dart and dazzle, a jungle where every leaf conceals a secret, every shadow hides a story. You don't need a map that leads to gold. Instead, you follow the trails of adaptation into the deepest oceans, the densest jungles and the highest skies. In the abyss where sunlight never reaches, creatures conjure their own light, painting the darkness with eerie blues and greens. Above the canopy, birds ride the wind, their wings shaped by the demands of flight and survival. Here we find animals that have developed superpowers that would make a comic book hero envious. The octopus, a master of disguise, melts into its surroundings, shifting colour and texture in the blink of an eye. The cuttlefish, too, vanishes before our eyes, a living illusionist in the underwater world. They can change their shape, become invisible, wield deadly poisons, like the blue poison dart frog, whose skin is a warning and a weapon, or the chameleon, whose shifting hues are both camouflage and communication. Some perform incredible feats of engineering. The beaver transforms rivers with its dams, creating entire ecosystems in its wake. The bowerbird, driven by instinct and artistry, builds elaborate structures to attract a mate, decorating them with found treasures. Each one is a masterpiece of survival, uniquely equipped for its own special corner of the planet, showing us that life's creativity knows no bounds. The sunfish, basking at the surface, soaks up warmth after a deep dive, its body a marvel of adaptation to the open sea. This journey is not just about gawking at the unusual. It is about understanding the incredible pressures that forge such extraordinary beings. In the wild, every day is a test of endurance, of ingenuity, of the will to survive. How does a creature survive where there is no light? In the midnight zone of the ocean, fish and jellyfish glow with bioluminescence, luring prey or confusing predators in a world of perpetual night. How does it find a meal when it cannot move quickly? The sloth, high in the treetops, moves with deliberate slowness, conserving energy and blending with the leaves. The anglerfish, patient and cunning, dangles a glowing lure to draw its victims close. How does it attract a mate when competition is fierce? Birds of paradise and peacocks turn courtship into spectacle. Their dances and displays a riot of colour and movement, each feather and step a message in the language of survival. The answers to these questions are written in the bodies and behaviours of these animals. Every adaptation, every quirk, is a solution honed by time and necessity. From a fish with a transparent head, its eyes peering upward through a dome of living glass, scanning for the faintest hint of prey above, to a lizard that shoots blood from its eyes, a last-ditch defence in the unforgiving desert. Every oddity tells a story of struggle, adaptation, and ultimately triumph against the odds. Each creature is a survivor, a living chronicle of the challenges it has faced and overcome. So, let us begin our adventure into this world of the weird and wonderful. The jungle beckons with its secrets, the ocean with its mysteries, each environment a new chapter in the saga of life. We will meet the masters of camouflage hiding in plain sight, the leaf-tailed gecko, a living shadow on the bark, and the octopus, a shapeshifter among the corals, and the cunning hunters with weapons beyond imagination, the mantis shrimp, whose strike is faster than a bullet, and the trapdoor spider, a patient predator waiting in ambush. We will witness bizarre courtship rituals, dances and displays that transform the forest floor and the ocean shallows into stages for the most extraordinary performances, and incredible parenting strategies that defy belief. The emperor penguin cradling its egg on frozen feet through the Antarctic night, and the frog carrying its young on its back, a living nursery in the rainforest. This is a celebration of the misfits, the innovators, and the survivors who make our planet so endlessly fascinating. Each face, each form, is a testament to the boundless inventiveness of life. Prepare to be amazed by the sheer brilliant strangeness of life on Earth, a parade of wonders that never ceases to surprise and inspire, a living story that unfolds with every sunrise and every shadow. The ocean is a realm of mystery, a world where the rules of survival are written in shadows and light, and where the art of deception is not just a skill, but a way of life. Sunlight struggles to penetrate these vast blue depths, leaving much of the underwater world cloaked in perpetual twilight. In these hidden places, survival often depends on a single crucial ability, mastering the art of not being seen. Here, the line between predator and prey is blurred by the power of disguise. Some of the most extraordinary creatures on Earth have evolved to become true masters of disguise. Their bodies transformed into living illusions that confound both hunter and hunted. Take the frogfish, for example, a lumpy, slow-moving inhabitant of Australian coral reefs. Its appearance is so convincingly sponge-like that even the most observant predator or prey can pass by without noticing. The frogfish is a poor swimmer, but it has no need to chase its meals. Instead, it relies on patience and perfect mimicry, remaining utterly still for hours at a time. Its skin can change colour and texture to match the surrounding sponges and corals, making it nearly invisible. When an unsuspecting fish comes close, the frogfish strikes with lightning speed, swallowing its prey whole in a fraction of a second. Another remarkable illusionist is the flounder, a fish whose entire life is a story of transformation. As a juvenile, it swims upright like any other fish, but as it matures, its body undergoes a bizarre metamorphosis. At birth, the flounder has one eye on each side of its head, perfectly symmetrical and unremarkable. But as it settles onto the sandy sea floor, one eye slowly migrates across the top of its head to join the other, allowing the flounder to lie flat and keep both eyes trained on the world above. With its flattened body and shifting skin tones, the flounder becomes a living patch of sand, able to vanish in plain sight. It waits, motionless, for the perfect moment to ambush passing prey or evade lurking predators. In the floating forests of sargassum seaweed, a different kind of deception unfolds. Here, the tangled mats of golden algae provide both sanctuary and hunting ground for a host of creatures. Among the drifting fronds lives the sargassum fish, a small but voracious predator perfectly adapted to its leafy world. Its body is adorned with elaborate leaf-like appendages and a patchwork of browns and yellows, making it almost impossible to distinguish from the sargassum itself. The sargassum fish drifts with the current, remaining perfectly still, a silent ambush predator waiting for the slightest movement of prey. For the smaller fish and crustaceans that seek shelter in the sargassum, this master of disguise is an ever-present, invisible threat, an unseen hunter in a world of golden leaves. But not all deception is about hunting or hiding. Some creatures use disguise for a far more sinister purpose, like the tongue louse, a parasite with a truly macabre strategy. This tiny crustacean enters its host through the gills, seeking out the soft, vulnerable tissue of the tongue. Once inside, it latches on and begins to feed, draining blood from the tongue until the organ withers and falls away. The louse then takes the place of the missing tongue, anchoring itself firmly and functioning as a living replacement, sharing every meal with its host for the rest of its life. The fish, now with a parasite for a tongue, continues its life, unaware of the deception within its own mouth. In the animal kingdom, the art of disguise takes many forms, from the silent ambush of the frogfish to the living camouflage of the flounder and sargassum fish, to the unsettling mimicry of the tongue louse. Each is a testament to the endless creativity of evolution, where survival depends on the ability to vanish, deceive, and outwit the ever-watchful eyes of the ocean. Beneath the waves, where sunlight fades and vision blurs, the ocean becomes a world ruled by sound, touch, and the most extraordinary displays of behaviour. Here, communication is an art form, and romance is often stranger than fiction. Dolphins, for instance, are the ocean's great conversationalists. Their lives are woven together by a tapestry of clicks, whistles, and body language. Each pod develops its own dialect, a unique signature of sound that binds its members together. When dolphins hunt, their communication becomes a symphony of rapid-fire signals, clicks to echolocate prey, whistles to coordinate movement, and even synchronized leaps to signal a change in direction. This intricate language allows them to move as one, a living, breathing organism of intelligence and cooperation. In moments of danger, dolphins close ranks, forming tight defensive circles around their young. A sharp shake of the head or a sudden burst of bubbles can warn off intruders or express irritation. These gestures, subtle yet powerful, are understood instantly by every member of the pod, reinforcing bonds and ensuring survival in a world where threats can appear from any shadow. These aren't just random noises. They are the threads of a sophisticated social fabric woven in the silent blue world. Dolphins greet each other with signature whistles, unique to each individual, much like a name. They comfort distressed companions with gentle touches and playful nudges, and even mourn the loss of a pod member, lingering near the body in a silent vigil. The beluga whale, often called the canary of the sea, takes this underwater symphony to another level. In the icy waters of the Arctic, belugas fill the ocean with a chorus of high-pitched squeals, chirps and moos. Their voices echo through the water, bouncing off ice floes and travelling for miles, carrying news of food, danger, or the simple joy of being alive. The secret to their vocal prowess lies in their bulbous foreheads, known as melons. These remarkable organs can change shape, focusing and directing sound with astonishing precision. Through subtle shifts and pulses, belugas can send private messages to a single whale or broadcast a call to the entire pod, creating a rich and varied dialogue that is as complex as any language on land. From the moment a beluga calf is born, it is immersed in this world of sound. Within hours, the calf begins to mimic the calls of its mother, learning the family's unique vocal signatures. These early lessons are vital, for in the shifting, murky Arctic waters, sound is the only reliable guide. The calf's survival depends on its ability to recognize and respond to these calls, forging bonds that will last a lifetime. But communication in the ocean is not just about survival, it is also about love. And here romance takes on forms as strange as they are spectacular. For many marine creatures, courtship is a dazzling display of colour, sound and movement, each species inventing its own rituals to attract a mate. The male hooded seal, for example, is a master of the bizarre. During breeding season, this 900-pound giant inflates a large balloon-like membrane from one nostril, turning his face into a surreal spectacle of red and pink. The display is both a challenge to rivals and an invitation to females, a living billboard of strength and vitality. The bigger and brighter the balloon, the more impressive the male. Females watch closely, choosing mates based on the size and colour of this extraordinary nasal display. For the males, it is a test of endurance and bravado, a contest where only the boldest and most flamboyant win the right to pass on their genes. Yet the world of marine invertebrates offers even stranger tales of love and rivalry. Here, the rules of romance are rewritten in ways that defy imagination. Take the hermaphroditic flatworms, for instance. When two flatworms meet, they engage in a dramatic duel known as penis fencing. Each is both male and female, and both are armed with dagger-like appendages. They twist and grapple, each trying to stab and inseminate the other. The winner becomes the father, while the loser, now fertilized, must bear the energy-intensive burden of motherhood. It is a battle of wills and wits, where the stakes are nothing less than the future of the next generation. Meanwhile, sea hares, gentle, soft-bodied mollusks, take a more communal approach. During mating season, they gather in long, undulating chains, each animal acting as both male to the one in front and female to the one behind. This living train ensures that every participant has a chance to pass on its genes, a celebration of life and continuity in the ever-changing tides. In the ocean, communication and romance are limited only by imagination, from the haunting songs of whales to the outlandish displays of seals and the duels of flatworms. The sea is a stage for some of the most cunning and curious behaviours on Earth, each one a testament to the endless creativity of life beneath the waves. In the endless, shadowy expanse of the ocean, survival is a relentless contest of adaptation and innovation. Here, every creature is armed with a unique arsenal, honed by millions of years of evolution to outwit, outmaneuver and outlast the competition. Some of the most extraordinary weapons and defences on Earth are wielded not by the largest or fastest, but by the most ingeniously adapted. Take the cone snail, for example. This unassuming mollusk, adorned in a beautiful spiraled shell, glides slowly across the reef, almost invisible among the corals. But beneath its delicate exterior lies a weapon of astonishing lethality. The cone snail is a master of chemical warfare. It detects the faintest traces of prey, tiny fish or unsuspecting worms, using a long, sensitive siphon that samples the water for scent molecules. This tube acts as both a nose and a periscope, allowing the snail to hunt with precision in the labyrinthine reef. When the moment is right, the snail unleashes its signature weapon, a hollow barbed tooth, fired like a harpoon. This tooth is loaded with a complex cocktail of neurotoxins, each tailored to instantly paralyze its chosen victim. The attack is so swift and silent that the prey has no chance to escape. Immobilized, the prey is drawn in by the snail's muscular foot and slowly swallowed whole. The cone snail's venom is so potent that even large fish succumb within seconds, making this mollusk one of the ocean's most efficient and least suspected assassins. descend deeper into the abyssal plains where sunlight never penetrates and the pressure is crushing, and the arms race of survival becomes even more bizarre. Here, life has evolved in near-total darkness, and every adaptation is a matter of life and death. In these black depths, the Pacific barrel-eye fish drifts silently. Its most striking feature is its transparent, fluid-filled head, a living window into its own brain. This adaptation is not just for show, it is a shield and a tool protecting the fish's delicate eyes while allowing them to rotate within the dome. The barrel-eye's tubular eyes are like periscopes, usually pointed straight upward to scan for the faintest outlines of prey silhouetted against the dim glow from above. This unique vision system lets the fish spot drifting jellyfish and other morsels, even in the perpetual twilight of the deep. The transparent dome not only shields the eyes from the stinging tentacles of jellyfish, but also allows the barrel eye to maneuver with surgical precision, stealing food from the tentacled drifters while remaining unharmed. In this world of darkness, the barrel eye's anatomy is both armour and weapon, a perfect adaptation to a perilous environment. In the frigid, inky waters of the Arctic, another marvel of adaptation glides through the ice, the narwhal, often called the unicorn of the sea. The male narwhal's tusk, a single spiral tooth that can reach 10 feet in length, is one of the most extraordinary natural weapons in the animal kingdom. But this is no mere spear for battle. Packed with millions of nerve endings, the tusk is a highly sensitive organ, capable of detecting subtle changes in water temperature, pressure and salinity. It is a sensory tool, a display of dominance, and perhaps even a way to communicate with other narwhals in the vast icy wilderness. When narwhals gather, their tusks are brandished in displays of strength and fitness, a silent contest in the frozen silence. In these harsh conditions, every adaptation is a matter of survival, and the narwhal's tusk is a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering. On the ocean floor, where danger can come from any direction, the sea cucumber has developed one of the most bizarre and effective defences in the animal world. This slow-moving, sausage-shaped creature may appear defenceless, but when threatened, it reveals a shocking secret weapon. In a sudden, violent contraction, the sea cucumber expels its own sticky, toxic internal organs through its rear. These tangled, gluey threads can ensnare and poison would-be predators, buying the sea cucumber precious moments to escape. The attacker, caught in the sticky web, is left struggling as the sea cucumber slowly crawls away, leaving behind a part of itself as both shield and decoy. Remarkably, the sea cucumber is able to regenerate its lost organs over the course of several weeks, ready to deploy its astonishing defense again if needed. In the abyss, every creature is an arms race of adaptation, each weapon and defense a testament to the ingenuity of life in the most extreme environments on Earth. On land, the challenges are different, but the solutions are no less strange. Animals have evolved an incredible array of built-in tools to find food and navigate their environments. The eye, a curious lemur from Madagascar, is a perfect example of specialization. This nocturnal creature looks like a gremlin with huge eyes and even bigger ears, but its most remarkable feature is its long, thin and bony middle finger. The eye uses this finger for percussive foraging, tapping rapidly on tree bark to listen for the hollow tunnels of wood-boring grubs, then gnawing a hole and using its creepy finger to hook them out. Another animal with an astonishing toolkit is the panther chameleon. Its eyes can rotate and focus independently, allowing it to look in 2 different directions at once, one eye scanning for danger while the other zeroes in on a potential meal. When it spots an insect, it unleashes its secret weapon, a tongue that is 1.5 times its body length. This tongue shoots out like a catapult, its sticky tip latching onto the unsuspecting victim in a fraction of a second. It is a marvel of biological engineering, combining 360-degree vision with lightning-fast hunting prowess. Not all tools are for hunting. The male proboscis monkey of Borneo has a tool for communication and attraction that is impossible to ignore: its enormous fleshy nose. This pendulous nose, which can hang down below its mouth, is thought to serve two purposes. First, it acts as an echo chamber, amplifying the monkey's warning calls to make them louder and more impressive. Second, it is a feature that females find attractive, a clear signal of the male's status and genetic quality. It's a prime example of how sexual selection can lead to some truly bizarre physical traits. Meanwhile, the pangolin, or scaly anteater, is like a walking pine cone equipped with its own set of heavy-duty excavation tools. This shy, nocturnal mammal is covered from head to tail in tough, overlapping scales made of keratin, the same material as our fingernails. When threatened, it curls into an almost impenetrable ball. But its real tools are its powerful front claws, which it uses to tear open the concrete-hard nests of ants and termites. It then deploys its other tool, a tongue that is longer than its body, which it uses to mop up thousands of insects. These claws are not just for digging, they also help the pangolin climb trees in search of food. Even more fascinating is how a mother pangolin uses her body as a tool to protect her young, carrying them on her back as she forages. And when it needs to make a quick escape, the pangolin can roll down hills, using its body as a makeshift wheel. These bizarre tools for survival are a testament to the incredible adaptability and ingenuity of the animal kingdom. Each species has evolved its own unique set of tools, perfectly suited to its environment and lifestyle. On the unforgiving stage of terrestrial life, survival is a relentless contest. And some animals have evolved defenses so bizarre, so macabre, that they seem to belong in the pages of a dark fantasy rather than the natural world. These adaptations are not just effective, they are the stuff of nightmares, honed by millions of years of evolutionary pressure. Consider the horned lizard, a master of disguise in the arid American deserts, its spiky armor blending seamlessly with the sandy earth. When danger looms, perhaps in the form of a hungry coyote, the horned lizard's first line of defense is to freeze, relying on its camouflage to go unnoticed. But if the predator persists, the lizard unleashes a defense so shocking it defies belief. By constricting the blood vessels around its eyes, the lizard builds up immense pressure until, with a sudden burst, it squirts a jet of blood directly from its eyes. This crimson spray, laced with foul-tasting chemicals, is aimed with uncanny accuracy at the face of its attacker. The secret behind this gruesome tactic lies in the lizard's diet. Feeding almost exclusively on ants, the horned lizard accumulates formic acid and other compounds, which infuse its blood with a taste and smell that is utterly revolting to canines. Coyotes, foxes, and even domestic dogs often recoil in disgust, abandoning their pursuit in favor of less revolting prey. In the damp, shadowy forests of the Pacific Northwest, another creature carries a defense that is invisible, silent, and lethally efficient: the rough-skinned newt. Its unassuming, warty skin is saturated with tetrodotoxin, a neurotoxin so powerful that a single newt harbours enough to kill dozens of would-be predators, or even several adult humans. This chemical weapon seeps from its skin, making the newt a deadly mouthful for any animal foolish enough to try. Most animals have learned to avoid the newt, but the common garter snake is locked in a high-stakes evolutionary duel with this toxic amphibian. Over countless generations, the garter snake has developed a remarkable resistance to tetrodotoxin, allowing it to prey on newts that would kill almost any other animal. In response, the newts have become ever more toxic, escalating this arms race to astonishing extremes. Some newts are now so poisonous that only the most resistant snakes can survive eating them, while the snakes themselves risk paralysis and death with every meal. It is a silent, deadly contest played out in the leaf litter and shadows. But the strangeness of the animal kingdom is not limited to defence. Family life too can be a theatre of the bizarre, with strategies as inventive as they are unexpected. Deep in the mossy forests of South America, Darwin's frog stands out for its extraordinary approach to parenthood. After the female lays her delicate eggs among the damp leaves, the male remains close, ever vigilant, guarding the vulnerable clutch from predators and the elements. As the eggs begin to hatch, the male performs an act that seems almost unthinkable. He gently scoops the wriggling tadpoles into his mouth, swallowing them whole, not as a meal but as a sanctuary. Inside his vocal sac, the tadpoles are safe from harm, floating in a living nursery where they continue to grow, nourished and protected by their father's body. When the time is right, the father opens his mouth and in a moment both strange and wondrous, releases fully formed froglets into the world, tiny replicas of himself emerging from the very place where his song would otherwise ring out. Beneath the sun-baked soils of East Africa, another family drama unfolds in utter darkness. The naked mole rat, nearly blind and hairless, lives in a society as complex as any insect colony. These rodents carve out sprawling labyrinths of tunnels, their lives governed by a strict social hierarchy. Each member has a role, from digging and foraging to defending the colony from intruders. At the heart of this subterranean empire is the queen, a single, dominant female whose sole privilege is reproduction. She is surrounded by loyal subjects who groom her, feed her, and fiercely protect her. The rest of the colony consists of tireless workers and attentive soldiers, each dedicating their lives to the collective good. They dig endless tunnels, haul food back to the nest and care for the queen's many offspring, ensuring the survival of the colony. In this world of perpetual darkness, the naked mole rat stands as one of the only truly eusocial mammals, a living testament to the power of cooperation, adaptation, and the strange, demented ingenuity of life on Earth. The sky is a domain of freedom, but taking to the air is not just for the birds. Across the world, evolution has given rise to a remarkable cast of unconventional aviators, creatures that have mastered the art of flight or gliding in ways that defy expectations and challenge the very definition of what it means to soar. Evolution has equipped a surprising number of creatures with the ability to fly, or more accurately, to glide with remarkable skill. These animals have adapted to their environments in ingenious ways, transforming their bodies into living aircraft, each with its own unique blueprint for conquering the air. The flying squirrel is a perfect example of this. By day it may seem like any other rodent, but as dusk falls, it reveals its true nature as a silent glider of the night. It doesn't flap its wings because it doesn't have any. Instead, it relies on a different kind of adaptation. Instead, it has a furry membrane of skin called a patagium that stretches from its wrists to its ankles. This delicate parachute-like structure is the secret to its aerial prowess. By leaping from a tall tree and spreading its limbs, it transforms into a living kite, steering with its tail and tiny cartilage rods in its wrists to travel safely to another tree. In the moonlit forest, it can glide for over 150 feet, weaving between branches and landing with pinpoint accuracy, all in near silence to avoid predators lurking below. Then there are creatures that turn their entire bodies into an aerodynamic surface. Some, like the gliding tree snake, have taken the concept of flight to a whole new level. The gliding tree snake of Southeast Asia has a truly astonishing method of travel. It spends its life high in the rainforest canopy, where the ground is a dangerous place filled with predators. To get from one tree to another without touching the ground, it launches itself into the air and flattens its body by fanning out its ribs. With a sudden, graceful leap, it becomes a living ribbon, twisting through the air. This transforms its normally round body into a concave, ribbon-like shape that catches the air like a wing. The snake's body acts as both parachute and glider, allowing it to cover distances of up to 100 feet in a single glide. By undulating its body in an S shape, it can control its descent and glide for remarkable distances, effectively swimming through the air. Each movement is calculated, allowing the snake to steer, adjust its altitude, and land precisely where it intends, an extraordinary feat for a creature with no limbs. Even fish have found a way to conquer the sky, if only for a few moments. The flying fish is a marvel of adaptation, living in the open ocean where danger can strike from below at any time. The flying fish doesn't truly fly, but it can achieve spectacular glides over the ocean surface. When threatened, it becomes a missile, launching itself out of the water with a burst of speed. To escape underwater predators like tuna or dolphins, it swims toward the surface at incredible speed, breaking through into the air. Its streamlined body and powerful tail propel it skyward, sometimes reaching heights of up to 4 feet above the waves. It then spreads its large wing-like pectoral fins to catch the wind, sometimes gliding for hundreds of feet. These fins, normally pressed flat against its body, unfurl like sails, allowing the fish to ride the breeze and escape its pursuers. It is a breathtaking display of adaptation, using the boundary between sea and sky as a temporary refuge from the dangers below. In the golden light of dawn, entire schools of flying fish can be seen skimming the surface, their silver bodies glinting as they leap and glide in unison. But perhaps the most impressive aerial acrobat is the hummingbird. This tiny marvel is a living jewel, its iridescent feathers flashing in the sunlight as it prepares for flight. This tiny jewel is a true master of flight, capable of feats that no other bird can match. Its flight is a blur of motion, a ballet of precision and speed. Its wings beat so fast, up to 200 times per second, that they become a blur, allowing it to hover motionless in mid-air. This unique ability lets the hummingbird sip nectar from flowers with surgical accuracy, its long tongue darting in and out as it feeds. It can also fly backwards, sideways, and even upside down, all with perfect control. No other bird can match its agility, and every movement is a testament to the wonders of natural engineering. To fuel this high-energy lifestyle, it must consume its own body weight in nectar every single day, visiting hundreds of flowers in a constant frenetic search for fuel for its incredible biological engine. The hummingbird's heart beats over 1,000 times per minute, and its metabolism is among the fastest in the animal kingdom, a true marvel of nature's ingenuity. High above the earth, the sky is a battleground where only the most cunning and adaptable survive. Here evolution has sculpted some of the most remarkable hunters, each with their own arsenal of strategies, some ingenious, others downright macabre. The world of airborne predators is as dramatic as it is diverse, with every species locked in a perpetual contest of wit and instinct. Take the shrike, for example, a bird that at first glance could be mistaken for any other cheerful songbird. But beneath its delicate appearance lies a ruthless predator, earning it the chilling nickname of the butcher bird. Despite its small size, the shrike is undeterred by prey much larger than itself. Its feet lack the crushing power of a hawk's talons, so it must rely on a different, more sinister method to subdue its victims. The shrike's solution is as gruesome as it is effective. With calculated precision it impales its prey, beetles, lizards, even small mammals, on the sharp spines of thorny bushes or the barbs of wire fences. This macabre pantry, or larder, serves a dual purpose. It secures the meal for later consumption and allows the shrike to tear apart tough prey with its hooked beak, piece by piece. It is a grim yet highly effective strategy, one that transforms a small, unassuming bird into a formidable aerial hunter, feared by creatures many times its size. As night falls, another master of the skies emerges, the vampire bat. Unlike the shrike, this hunter is a mammal, and its methods are the stuff of legend and nightmares. Guided by an extraordinary sense of heat, the vampire bat glides silently through the darkness, seeking the warmth of a sleeping animal. Its nose, equipped with specialized sensors, can detect the faintest rise in temperature, pinpointing the perfect spot to feed. With a feather-light landing, the bat uses its razor-sharp incisors to make a minuscule incision, so small the host rarely stirs. Contrary to popular myth, the bat does not suck blood. Instead, it laps up the flowing liquid with a tongue perfectly adapted for the task. Its saliva contains a powerful anticoagulant, ensuring the blood never clots and the meal continues uninterrupted, a marvel of evolutionary adaptation. This chilling, highly specialized form of hunting has allowed the vampire bat to thrive in the nocturnal world, a silent spectre in the night sky. But the sky is not only a realm of hunters, it is also a stage for some of the most bizarre and ingenious parenting strategies in the animal kingdom. The cuckoo, for instance, is infamous for its role as a brood parasite. Rather than raising its own young, it has perfected the art of deception, outsourcing the hard work to unsuspecting foster parents. The female cuckoo stealthily lays her egg in the nest of a much smaller bird, often matching the colour and pattern of the host's eggs to avoid detection. Once hatched, the cuckoo chick wastes no time. Driven by instinct, it pushes the host's eggs or chicks out of the nest, eliminating all competition for food. The foster parents, oblivious to the deception, devote themselves to feeding the ever-hungry intruder, often much larger and louder than their own lost offspring. In stark contrast, the male satin bowerbird's approach to reproduction is a dazzling display of creativity and patience. Rather than relying on brute strength or deception, he becomes an artist and architect. He constructs an elaborate bower, a structure of twigs and leaves, meticulously arranging each piece to create a stage for his courtship. Blue is his colour of choice, and he will go to extraordinary lengths to gather feathers, berries, and even discarded snail shells in every shade of blue imaginable. The search for blue objects can take him far and wide, each new find adding to the allure of his creation and increasing his chances of attracting a mate. The female inspects each bower with a discerning eye, judging the male's skill and dedication by the beauty and complexity of his display. In this world, courtship is not a contest of strength, but a celebration of artistry and ingenuity, a testament to the extraordinary lengths to which airborne creatures will go to ensure the survival of their kind. After journeying through this menagerie of nature's oddballs, we find ourselves face to face with the true wonders of evolution, creatures whose very existence challenges our understanding of what life can be. It's tempting to see them as mere curiosities, but these animals are far more than evolutionary footnotes. They are living testaments to the boundless creativity of nature. Each one, from the tongue-eating louse that replaces a fish's tongue to the blood-squirting lizard defending itself in the desert, is a vital thread in the intricate tapestry of its ecosystem. These wonderfully weird animals are not just survivors. They are architects of their worlds. Their unique adaptations shape the environments around them, influencing which plants grow, which insects thrive, and which predators hunt. They are the specialists, the problem solvers, and the innovators. Some wield tools to crack open the toughest shells, while others solve complex puzzles to find food or shelter, demonstrating intelligence in forms we are only beginning to appreciate. Their strange habits ripple outward, transforming entire landscapes. The beaver's dam creates wetlands that nurture countless species. The bat's nightly flights pollinate flowers and spread seeds, ensuring the forest's renewal. In every untouched corner of the world, these animals remind us that every form of life, no matter how odd, has a purpose and a place. Consider the eye with its elongated skeletal finger. Under the cover of night it taps on tree bark, listening for the faintest echo of a grub. With surgical precision it extracts its prey, keeping insect populations in check and maintaining the health of the forest. Or the tube-lipped nectar bat, whose tongue is longer than its body. It hovers in the darkness, reaching deep into a flower that no other animal can access, becoming the sole pollinator for a plant that would otherwise fade from existence. Without this bat, the flower would vanish, and with it, a cascade of life dependent on its nectar and seeds. These animals are not freaks, they are keystones, pillars that hold up entire ecosystems. Their presence ensures the survival of countless other species, from the smallest insect to the tallest tree. The web of life is woven from their actions, their relationships, and their resilience. Even the plants that provide us with air to breathe and medicines to heal are part of this intricate network, relying on the pollinators, seed dispersers, and soil engineers among these weird and wonderful creatures. When we lose one of these unique animals, the consequences ripple outward, unraveling connections that have taken millions of years to form. A forest without its pollinators grows silent. A reef without its cleaners becomes choked with disease. These animals are living proof that the world is more complex, more creative, and more surprising than we could ever imagine. Each new discovery, a creature with a see-through head, a fish that walks on land, reminds us that the story of life is still being written, and that the most extraordinary chapters are yet to come. In an age where so much of our natural world is under threat, these creatures stand as ambassadors for the wild. Their survival is a call to action, urging us to protect the habitats that sustain them. Biodiversity is not just about the number of species, but about the incredible diversity of forms, functions, and solutions to life's challenges. Every strange adaptation is a masterpiece, a product of billions of years of trial and error, of survival and innovation. To explore the world of weird animals is to explore the very power of life itself. It is a journey through a gallery of nature's most daring experiments, each one a testament to the resilience and inventiveness of living things. There is no single right way to survive. Only a multitude of incredible solutions, each perfectly tuned to its environment. These solutions are the legacy of billions of years of evolution, a living record of nature's ingenuity. Protecting these creatures is about more than saving an animal. It is about preserving a piece of the planet's natural genius. Each one is a library of biological marvels, a source of endless fascination, and a wellspring of knowledge that could one day inspire new medicines, technologies, and ideas. They are the living archives of Earth's history, each with a story written in the language of DNA and adaptation. Their movements, their colours, their behaviours, all are chapters in the grand narrative of life. And as we look into their eyes, we are reminded that we share this planet with beings of extraordinary strangeness and beauty. To fight for their survival is to fight for the richness, the wonder, and the future of life on Earth, a world where the weird and the wonderful can continue to thrive. As dawn breaks across the globe, the world's most unusual travellers prepare for journeys that defy logic, scale, and even the imagination. Migration is not just a spectacle of movement, it's a gauntlet of survival, a dance choreographed by instinct, adaptation, and the relentless pulse of life itself. While some animals follow familiar paths across continents, others embark on odysseys so bizarre they challenge everything we thought we knew about endurance and navigation. Consider the bar-tailed godwit, a modest-looking shorebird with a superpower hidden beneath its feathers. Every year, this bird launches into a non-stop flight from Alaska to New Zealand, covering over 7,000 miles without rest, food or water. Its body transforms before departure, storing fuel and shrinking internal organs to make room for energy reserves. Guided by the stars and Earth's magnetic field, it rides the winds across oceans, never touching land until its journey ends. Below the waves, the Palolo worm of the South Pacific times its migration to the phases of the moon. Once a year, millions of these worms split their bodies, releasing the rear halves to swim upward and spawn in a synchronized frenzy. The sea froths with life, and local communities gather to harvest this annual miracle, a migration written in the tides and the lunar calendar. Then there's the Christmas Island red crab, whose migration is a scarlet tide that transforms the landscape. Triggered by the first rains of the wet season, over 100 million crabs abandon their forest homes and march en masse to the sea. Roads are closed, bridges are built, and the island becomes a living river of crustaceans, all to lay eggs in the surf and ensure the next generation survives. High above, the monarch butterfly embarks on a migration that spans generations. No single butterfly completes the entire journey from Canada to the forests of central Mexico. Instead, it takes up to 4 generations, each living only a few weeks, passing the torch in a relay of survival. When the final generation arrives, they cluster by the millions in Oyamel fir trees, turning branches into living mosaics of orange and black. Even in the darkness of the deep, the daily migration of the lanternfish is a vertical marathon. As night falls, billions of these tiny fish rise from the abyss to feed near the surface, only to dive back down at dawn. It is the largest migration on Earth, invisible to human eyes but vital to ocean health, moving nutrients, supporting predators and shaping entire marine ecosystems. Some journeys are guided by invisible maps. The European eel begins life as a transparent larva in the Sargasso Sea, drifting thousands of miles to grow in European rivers. Decades later, transformed into a shimmering adult, it returns to its birthplace to breed and die, a cycle shrouded in mystery, still not fully understood. Every migration is a test of endurance, navigation and timing. Animals cross deserts that scorch by day and freeze by night. They brave predators, storms and exhaustion, guided by senses we can scarcely imagine, magnetic fields, polarized light, even the scent of distant rain. These epic journeys are more than marvels of movement. They are acts of hope and resilience, connecting continents, shaping ecosystems, and ensuring the survival of species. They remind us that the world is woven together by the footsteps, wingbeats, and heartbeats of travelers who never stop searching for a place to belong. In every journey, there is a lesson, that the world's wonders are not just in where animals live, but in how they move. Across oceans, through forests, over mountains, and into the unknown. The story of migration is the story of life's courage, its ingenuity, and its endless yearning for home. Imagine a world where colours swirl far beyond the rainbow, where the faintest tremor on the ground is a message, and where every heartbeat in the dark is a beacon. For the animal kingdom, reality is not just what meets the human eye or ear. Many creatures possess senses so extraordinary they reveal an existence that is hidden from us, a sensory universe that humbles even our wildest dreams. Take the mantis shrimp, a small but mighty predator whose eyes are among the most complex in the animal world. While humans are limited to seeing 3 primary colours, the mantis shrimp perceives up to 12, including ultraviolet and polarized light. To this vibrant hunter, the reef is a kaleidoscope of signals, hidden patterns on fish scales, secret messages in the play of sunlight on water, turning every hunt into a visual symphony. Bats, masters of the night sky, see with their ears. Their world is built from echoes, high-frequency squeaks bouncing off every surface, painting a three-dimensional map in total darkness. With echolocation, bats can weave through tangled forests, snatch insects from mid-air, and even differentiate between a moth's flutter and a leaf's whisper. In the ocean's twilight, dolphins navigate and hunt using a similar trick. Their clicks and whistles bounce through the water, revealing the shape, size, and even the internal organs of their prey. It's a sixth sense that turns pitch-black depths into a realm of clarity, where sound becomes sight. But not all extraordinary senses rely on sound or sight. The star-nosed mole, a creature almost blind, lives underground in perpetual darkness. Its nose is a living supercomputer, covered in 22 fleshy tentacles packed with over 25,000 touch receptors. With a single brush, it can identify and devour prey in less than a quarter of a second, faster than the blink of an eye. Meanwhile, elephants communicate across miles using infrasound, vibrations too deep for humans to hear. These low rumbles travel through the ground, carrying news of danger, water, or the call of a distant family member. For elephants, the earth itself is a telephone, keeping herds connected across vast savannas. Some animals sense what's invisible to us. Pit vipers and some beetles can detect infrared radiation, literally seeing the heat given off by living creatures. This thermal vision turns the night into a glowing landscape where the warm-blooded stand out against the cool earth like living lanterns. And then there's the incredible navigation of migratory birds and sea turtles, guided by Earth's magnetic field. With tiny crystals of magnetite in their brains, these animals read the planet's invisible lines as easily as we read a map. They sense direction, distance, and even subtle shifts in magnetic intensity, allowing them to cross continents and oceans with unerring precision. Even the humble honeybee perceives the world in ways we cannot. Bees see patterns on flowers that are invisible to us, using ultraviolet vision to find the richest nectar. Their antennae can taste and smell the air, decoding a garden's secrets on the breeze. These superpowers are not just curiosities, they are the keys to survival, communication, and the shaping of entire ecosystems. They remind us that reality is more layered, more mysterious, and more wondrous than we can fathom. For every animal, the world is a different place. To truly understand life on Earth, we must look beyond our own senses and imagine the symphony of signals, colours, and vibrations that shape every moment in the wild. In the end, the greatest marvel may be this, that every creature is the hero of its own story, living in a reality as rich and strange as any dream. In the wild, survival often means going it alone. But sometimes nature writes a different script, one where the most unexpected partnerships blossom, forging alliances that are as extraordinary as they are essential. Welcome to the secret world of symbiosis, where animals team up in ways that can seem almost magical. High in the African savannah, a drama unfolds between two unlikely allies, the oxpecker bird and the mighty rhinoceros. With every peck, the oxpecker grooms its host, plucking ticks and parasites from the rhino's tough hide. For the bird, it's a feast. For the rhino, it's relief from pests. But their bond goes deeper. The oxpecker's sharp eyes and shrill cries serve as an early warning system, alerting the rhino to danger long before it senses a lurking predator. Dive beneath the waves, and the ocean reveals its own cast of partners. The pistol shrimp and the goby fish share a burrow. One digs and maintains the sandy home, while the other stands guard. The shrimp's poor eyesight leaves it vulnerable, but the goby's watchful gaze keeps both safe. If danger approaches, the goby flicks its tail, and both dart into the shelter of their shared den. It's a living arrangement built on trust, where each life depends on the other's vigilance. In the tangled rainforests of Central America, the three-toed sloth carries an entire ecosystem in its fur. Tiny moths lay their eggs on the sloth, while green algae flourishes on its slow-moving body, camouflaging the sloth from predators. When the sloth descends to the forest floor to defecate, a rare and risky trip, the moths lay eggs in the fresh dung and their larvae return to the sloth's fur, continuing the cycle. In return, the algae provide nutrients that the sloth absorbs through its skin. It's a miniature world thriving on the back of one gentle giant. And then there's the coral reef, nature's metropolis built on a foundation of partnerships. Corals and tiny algae called zooxanthellae are inseparable. The algae live inside coral tissues, converting sunlight into energy and sharing nutrients with their hosts. In return, the coral provides a safe haven and the compounds the algae need to survive. This alliance powers the entire reef, supporting a kaleidoscope of life, from neonfish to lurking octopuses. Even in the harshest environments, alliances flourish. Deep within termite mounds, blind and vulnerable, the African aardvark shares its burrow with the aardvark cucumber, a rare plant whose seeds germinate only in the nutrient-rich soil of abandoned aardvark dens. The aardvark gains a cool refuge, while the plant finds the only place it can grow. Together they shape a microcosm of survival. These rare symbiotic relationships are more than curiosities. They are lifelines forged through millions of years of coexistence. They remind us that in nature, cooperation can be as powerful as competition. Every unlikely partnership is a testament to life's creativity, resilience, and interdependence. In the end, the wild is not just a battleground, but a web of alliances, hidden stories of trust, teamwork, and mutual survival. And in every corner of the planet, new partnerships are waiting to be discovered, proving that sometimes the strangest friendships are also the strongest. When it comes to mealtime, the animal kingdom throws the rulebook out the window. Forget the classic hunter and grazer. Some creatures have evolved diets and feeding strategies so outlandish they almost defy belief. Meet the vampire finch of the Galapagos Islands. On the surface, it looks like any other small bird, but in times of drought, when seeds and insects are scarce, this resourceful finch turns to an unlikely menu: blood. Perching atop larger seabirds, the vampire finch delicately pecks at their skin, sipping small amounts of blood without causing serious harm. It's a grisly adaptation, but one that keeps it alive when food is scarce. Dive into the ocean's depths and you'll find the bone-eating snot flowerworm, Ossidax. When a whale carcass sinks to the seafloor, these strange worms swarm in. Lacking mouths or stomachs, they secrete acid through their roots, dissolving bone and absorbing the nutrients through symbiotic bacteria. It's a meal that can last for years, sustaining entire communities in the darkness. On the forest floor, the bombardier beetle arms itself with a chemical arsenal. When threatened, it mixes hydrogen peroxide and hydroquinone inside its abdomen, blasting boiling, noxious liquid at would-be predators. But this chemistry isn't just for defense. It's also how the beetle digests tough prey, breaking down insect exoskeletons from the inside out. Travel to the deserts of Australia, and you'll meet the thorny devil lizard. Its spiky skin isn't just for show. It's covered with tiny grooves that channel dew and rain straight to its mouth. By simply standing in the right position, the thorny devil can drink with its feet, harvesting water from the air itself. In the rainforests of Southeast Asia, the pitcher plant has turned the tables on the animal world. This carnivorous plant lures insects, and sometimes even small mammals, into its slippery, nectar-filled trap. Once inside, there's no escape. Digestive enzymes break down the prey, turning it into a nutrient-rich soup. Some species even form partnerships with tree shrews, offering sweet nectar in exchange for droppings, which provide vital nutrients. And then there's the hoatzin, or stinkbird, of South America. With a diet made almost entirely of leaves, It relies on a gut fermentation process more akin to cows than birds. This unique digestion gives the Hutsin its unmistakable odour, a pungent reminder that in the wild eating green can come with a price. From blood-sipping birds to acid-secreting worms, nature's most bizarre diners have evolved to thrive on the unthinkable. Their strange diets are more than curiosities. They're survival strategies, honed by evolution's relentless creativity. In the end, every weird meal is a testament to the wild's endless inventiveness, proof that when it comes to survival, anything on the menu is fair game. When the world turns hostile, some animals rise to the challenge, mastering survival in environments where few dare to tread. Welcome to the front lines of life, where existence itself is a daily victory and adaptation is pushed to its absolute limits. Let's begin in the scorching heart of the Sahara Desert, where the fennec fox reigns supreme. With ears nearly half the size of its head, this tiny nocturnal predator uses its enormous auditory organs not just for pinpointing prey beneath the sand, but for shedding excess body heat. By day it burrows deep underground, escaping temperatures that would fry most creatures. By night it emerges to hunt, its pale fur reflecting moonlight and blending seamlessly into the dunes. Travel north and the world transforms into an icy expanse, the Arctic tundra. Here the Arctic fox dons a coat that's the envy of all winter wardrobes, dense multi-layered fur that changes from brown to blinding white as the seasons shift. It survives months of darkness and temperatures plunging below -50 degrees Celsius, relying on keen hearing to locate lemmings tunneling beneath the snow. When food is scarce, it becomes a cunning scavenger, trailing polar bears and feasting on leftovers. Venture deep below the Earth's surface where sunlight never penetrates, and you'll find the olm, a blind cave-dwelling salamander of the Balkans. In the perpetual darkness of subterranean rivers, the olm's skin has lost all pigment, and its eyes have regressed to useless dots. Instead, it navigates by sensing vibrations and chemical changes in the water. Here, patience is a virtue. The olm can survive without food for up to a decade, slowing its metabolism to a near standstill. Back under the blazing sun, meet the Namib desert beetle. Each morning it climbs to the crest of a sand dune and performs a life-or-death balancing act, tilting its body into the fog-laden wind. Tiny bumps on its shell collect moisture from the air, channeling precious water droplets straight to its mouth. In a land where rain may not fall for years, this ingenious trick is the difference between life and death. In the frigid waters beneath Antarctic ice, the icefish swims through a world where most animals would freeze solid. Its secret, transparent blood that lacks hemoglobin, instead using proteins that act like antifreeze, preventing deadly crystals from forming. With skeletons so light they're almost invisible, ice fish drift effortlessly, feeding on krill and small fish in a realm that's as alien as the surface of another planet. From burning deserts to frozen wastelands and pitch-black caves, these extraordinary survivors prove that life is an unstoppable force. Their bodies are blueprints for resilience, their behaviours lessons in ingenuity. In the harshest corners of our planet, nature's most astonishing adaptations shine brightest, reminding us that even on the very edge, life not only persists, but thrives. In the wild, survival isn't just about finding food, it's about not becoming food yourself. Across the animal kingdom, the art of defense has inspired some of nature's most mind-bending innovations. Let's step into a world where danger breeds creativity, and the line between predator and prey is blurred by deception, disguise, and downright weirdness. Start with the masters of vanishing acts, the leaf-tailed geckos of Madagascar. These lizards are so perfectly camouflaged they seem to melt into the mossy bark and dead leaves. Every jagged edge of their bodies mimics the contours of their forest homes, making them nearly invisible to predators. But camouflage isn't always about blending in. Sometimes it's about pretending to be something you're not. Meet the hawk moth caterpillar, which inflates its rear end to look like a venomous snake's head, complete with false eyes and menacing scales. When threatened, it rears up, sending would-be predators fleeing in terror from a creature they never expected. For some, mimicry is a deadly serious game. The harmless milk snake wears the same red, black and yellow bands as the highly venomous coral snake, a fashion statement that warns off attackers with a lie. In the ocean depths, the mimic octopus takes this trickery to the next level, contorting its body and shifting colours to impersonate lionfish, sea snakes and even flatfish, adopting the identity of whatever predator its enemies fear most. But when hiding isn't enough, animals unleash chemical warfare. The bombardier beetle is a tiny tank with a big secret. When threatened, it blasts boiling, noxious chemicals from its abdomen, creating audible pops and a cloud of irritation that sends predators scrambling. In the jungles of Southeast Asia, the Malaysian exploding ant takes self-sacrifice to the extreme. When cornered, it ruptures its own body, releasing toxic glue that entangles and repels attackers, an act of defense that saves the colony at the cost of the ant's own life. Some defenses are just plain bizarre. The hairy frog of Central Africa will literally break its own bones, forcing sharp claws through its skin to slash at attackers. Meanwhile, the horned lizard of North America can shoot jets of blood from its eyes, a startling display that confuses predators and tastes foul to canines. From invisible lizards and shape-shifting octopuses to beetles that blast acid and lizards that bleed from their eyes, nature's arsenal is as strange as it is effective. In the endless arms race between hunters and hunted, these weird warriors remind us that sometimes the best defense is being completely, utterly unpredictable. Hidden in forests, deserts, and even beneath the waves, a silent workforce is hard at work, crafting, sculpting, and engineering some of the most astonishing structures on Earth. Welcome to the world of animal architects, where instinct meets innovation, and every twig, pebble, and bubble tells a story of survival and ingenuity. Let's begin in the treetops, where the weaver bird is a master of knots and patience. With nothing but its beak and a bundle of grass, this tiny engineer crafts intricate hanging nests, woven so tightly that they can withstand tropical storms. Each nest is a fortress, suspended from the thinnest branches to keep eggs safe from snakes and other predators. The complexity of these woven homes rivals that of any human-made basket, and the artistry is passed down through generations. Beneath the surface, another kind of architect is at work, the mole rat. In darkness, these rodents excavate sprawling underground cities, complete with sleeping chambers, food storage rooms, and air vents for fresh oxygen. Their tunnels can stretch for miles, mapped with an accuracy that rivals subway systems. Every chamber is meticulously planned, ensuring the colony's safety from predators and the harsh climate above. In the insect world, the termite reigns supreme as a builder. Termite mounds tower over the savanna, some reaching heights of over 30 feet. These earthen skyscrapers are marvels of engineering, with complex networks of tunnels and chambers that regulate temperature and humidity. The termites themselves are blind, yet together they create climate-controlled fortresses that can last for decades. Journey to the riverside and you'll find the industrious beaver, nature's dam builder. Using logs, branches and mud, beavers transform entire landscapes, creating ponds that provide essential habitats for countless other species. Their lodges, with underwater entrances, offer protection from predators and a cosy home during the harsh winter months. Even beneath the sea, architectural wonders abound. The pufferfish, for example, is a surprising artist. With nothing but its fins, a male pufferfish carves elaborate geometric patterns in the sandy ocean floor, mysterious circles up to 6 feet wide. These underwater sandcastles are not only beautiful, but also serve as a courtship display, attracting potential mates with their symmetry and precision. From the paper-thin hives of wasps to the labyrinthine burrows of prairie dogs, animal architecture is a testament to the creativity and adaptability of the natural world. These structures are more than just shelters, they are legacies, passed from one generation to the next, shaping entire ecosystems and reminding us that ingenuity is not the sole domain of humankind. In a world where survival often means thinking outside the box, nature's architects prove that sometimes the greatest wonders are built one twig, tunnel, or grain of sand at a time. Even as we unlock the secrets of DNA and map the farthest reaches of the oceans, the animal kingdom continues to puzzle and astound us with behaviors that defy easy explanation. Welcome to the realm of nature's enduring mysteries, where creatures act in ways that leave even the brightest minds scratching their heads. Deep in the forests of Malaysia, the Komodo, or flying lemur, glides silently from tree to tree. But it's not their gliding that baffles scientists. It's their eerie, moonlit gatherings. At certain times of the year, dozens of Komodos assemble in the same tree, then disperse just as suddenly. No one knows what draws them together or what secret purpose these silent conferences serve. In the ocean's twilight zone, the narwhal, often called the unicorn of the sea, sports a single spiralling tusk. But despite decades of research, the true purpose of this bizarre appendage remains shrouded in mystery. Is it a weapon, a sensory organ, or something else entirely? Observations reveal narwhals tapping their tusks together in enigmatic rituals, but the meaning behind these gestures is still unknown. On moonless nights in the Australian outback, the bowerbird performs one of nature's strangest dances. Building elaborate structures decorated with colourful objects, the male bowerbird arranges his treasures, sometimes in intricate patterns that seem to follow rules only he understands. What compels him to choose certain colours or shapes? Why do some bowers attract mates while others fail? The answers remain elusive. Travel to the African savannah, and you may witness the death march of the driver ant. Millions of ants suddenly abandon their colony, moving as a single unstoppable river. Their queen is carried at the centre, and anything in their path is devoured. What triggers these mass migrations? Scientists have theories, but the precise spark behind this collective behaviour is still a riddle. In the frozen wilds of the Arctic, reindeer sometimes circle endlessly for hours, a phenomenon known as the reindeer cyclone. Herds spin in a mesmerizing vortex, young and old swept into the spiral. Some believe it's a defense against predators, but no one knows for sure why they sometimes spin with no threat in sight. Even the humble honeybee holds secrets. Despite intensive studies, scientists still can't fully explain how bees use the waggle dance to communicate the exact location of distant flowers. The precision of their navigation, sometimes across miles of landscape, remains one of biology's most enchanting enigmas. These are just a few of the countless mysteries that remind us, for every question we answer about the animal world, a dozen more appear. Nature doesn't always give up her secrets easily, and perhaps in the end, the greatest wonder lies in what we may never fully understand. A reminder that the wild is not just a place of facts, but of magic, waiting for those who are willing to look a little closer.